So I'm not gonna lie to you, you're probably not gonna love the answer to this question. So it is common for maintenance to increase in New York City. That's just the honest truth. It isn't uncommon for maintenance to increase every year, and typically it increases by about 3 to 4%. Now, that's not a specific number, that's just generally what you see across the board, but there are some buildings who manage to not increase maintenance year after year, and it really just comes down to your actual board and what they decide to do based off what's best for the building. Now, what is maintenance covering? So let me give you a list of everything that's maintenance is covering. Obviously, maintenance is covering the taxes, it's covering insurance, it's covering the mortgage for the building, it's covering all those financials, but at the same time, it's also covering things that need to be done in the building. So it could be covering landscaping, it could be covering lobbies, hallways, elevators, really just any facade of the building, so the outside, it's covering all of that. If your building is older, there tends to be more maintenance increases because it's an older building and it needs more maintenance. So that's definitely not the case all the time. There are exceptions to the rules for sure, especially in New York City, but that's just what we see from a whole. So if somebody's purchasing in a building that's older, we tend to tell them that we might be able to see how the maintenance has increased over the years, but we also want them to be prepared that, look, it's probably going to increase. So just be aware that we're looking around, things need to be done to keep up with this place, and that's going to come down to the homeowners association. So you just need to be prepared for that. Now, your HOA should have a certain amount that they need to pay off every month for those regular payments, but at the same time, they should also have a reserve account. And reserves is the amount that they take out of the HOA every month and put into that reserve amount, so that way they have that amount kind of set aside for upcoming costs that the building might need. Now, every so often, there's not enough in that reserve account, and the board needs to go back to the residents and say, okay, we need people to pay a special assessment, and the special assessment is for this unforeseen project that we need to take care of in this time frame. Now, you might be thinking, okay, I already have to pay this ridiculous HOA, and now I might have to pay another fee on top of that. Yes, it's not completely uncommon. Like, it will happen at some point if you own a condo or co-op for years and years, but at the same time, it's not going to happen all the time, and a board needs to be very clear on how long the special assessment will last. But if you buy in a building tomorrow, I can't guarantee you that 6 months from now, there's not going to be a special assessment, because they pop up based off what your board votes for. So it could be frustrating, especially when you're really trying to budget out your finances long term. But to be honest, that's just how it is in buildings. There's sometimes things come up that are unforeseen, and the people who live in the building all have to take care of it together. I know this is a short video, but I hope this answered this question for you, because it is something that you need to be aware of when buying in a building or a community, because these fees, they can add up, and you need to be able to budget accordingly for your future. If there's anything else you can think of regarding HOAs or special assessments in particular, just let me know and I can make some further videos. I also do think that I will make some other videos talking more about what happens if you don't pay those fees, what specifically do people see in special assessments, really things like that, to kind of just explain further like the details of the HOAs versus special assessments.